Rain, humidity, wind, and storms can take a toll on your home. When they do, trust the team at Absolute Restoration for roofing, water damage, and mold remediation. 662-760-4348.
It's happening right now. No sales tax at Room to Room Furniture in Tupelo. No sales tax or 24-month special financing, plus 50% off store-wide. Did we mention no sales tax? It's happening at Room to Room Tupelo.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Officially halfway through the work week, and we are heading into the final stretch pretty strong here in North Mississippi. Welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor, and what I mean by that is that heat finally not the story, right? Current alerts. Yeah, I know the map not telling you nothing. It's telling us a lot of reasons to be grateful because there's not a single heat alert. That includes Pickens and Lamar County for our Thursday. Getting a bit of a break, but it will not last forever. And that's the unfortunate reality that we have to face is it's still summer in Mississippi. And while that break from the heat on our Thursday is in place, by next week, we could be talking the hottest temperatures of the year. So something we're continuing to monitor here behind the scenes. What we're also tracking are some spotty afternoon storms, including a few that will have some heavier downpours and a scam alert in Marshall County. That's something we'll be discussing on Mississippi Live News. So if you're in Marshall County and want to know what to look out for, we'll have all the latest details coming up for you here in just a moment. And for everyone else in North Mississippi, we have some news for you as well. The first 12 were 79 degrees by 11, 77 by 2. Early hours of our Thursday going to be in the mid-70s, but you see rain chances. And this is what I was saying yesterday too. 10 to 20%, it's not something to just shove off to the side. Those 10 to 20% can be impactful. Now, not really for tonight, but towards tomorrow, really by lunchtime and beyond, those rain chances going to pack a punch with heavy rainfall, lightning, and some sub-severe gusts at times as well. So our Mama Justice Doppler radar says that we are calm right now. I do see a few pockets where perhaps a shower or two are trying to pop up, but overall coverage, I think everyone would agree with me, it's pretty dry. I was glad that I heard from my wife and she said, Gabe, we got rain. So I'm hoping our luck is shifting. But I'm not going to jinx it just yet because we need all the rainfall we can get to supply our garden. I know that's the case for a lot of folks here in North Mississippi. In fact, our Thursday is the latest version of our drought monitor. Fingers crossed that will look relatively the same, maybe a little bit better. We'll see with our meteorologist Maggye McCauley bright and early on our Thursday. Overall, on our surface analysis, there's Bertha working its way along the coastal regions. Once again, getting some of those rain bands working their way to Jackson and Hattiesburg and Meridian here in North Mississippi. Not getting much. Our rain chances coming from this frontal boundary that will continue to linger overnight and into our Thursday, thus justifying those rain chances getting into the start of our Thursday. I will say, it looks like it might be overdoing some of those rain chances overnight, and this is what our HRRR model was doing yesterday too. I don't think it's got a great grasp on those overnight storms because it's used to the usual summer pattern where if it's night, storms go away. Well, when there's a front, that's not the story, and that's what we're dealing with tonight. So that's where I think it's over-convecting some of these frontal boundaries, but I do believe, yes, some light to moderate showers are possible. I just believe they'll be a little bit more isolated, and the heavier stuff will be working its way in by our Thursday afternoon. Low temperatures Thursday going to be 71 Corinth, 71 Holly Springs and South Haven, 75 Greenwood and Cleveland, and even seeing 76 there towards the Golden Triangle. But our pool day forecast, it's a perfect day for it, right? It's not overly hot to where the concrete burns your feet once you take your shoes off. It's going to be pretty comfortable throughout the day, 76 by 8, 84 by noon, and 88 by 3. So if you're looking to head out for those final pool days, you can see we're in the single-digit countdown until August 1st. So students, parents, we've already done some back-to-school stories. So, we've already kind of got that vibe going. But now it's a reality. Let the countdown begin. School year is right around the corner. And thank you to the folks there at IMPC. We'll get that pool day forecast transferred over to a school day forecast here soon. Summer, it flew by. So time's flying when you're having fun, I guess. Futurecast along that frontal boundary. In fact, let's go ahead and actually toss it to a wider monitor so everyone can get a good view on these rain chances throughout our afternoon hours. You can see that we're remaining pretty spotty throughout the early morning forecast. My word, I've talked a lot today. early morning forecast, but into the afternoon, watch how that activity really ramps up right along the boundary specifically. You can see the yellows, the reds popping up a little bit more. Now, some isolated activity, not impossible out north of this, but it also has been struggling with the surface analysis with this front. So I think that it's positioned, it's not terrible. Might do a county north to really get a right position on that stationary front. But where that front is positioned, why I'm so nitpicky on it, that's going to be where the rain chances occur. So if you're in Holly Springs at 6 p.m. and you see this frontal boundary down around the Golden Triangle, we're not talking rain chances for you. In fact, it's going to be a very dry feeling atmosphere. I'm pretty comfortable. But if that boundary's overhead in your area, grab the rain gear because those spotty, heavy downpours will be likely for your region. But high temperatures, I mentioned Holly Springs, 88 degrees. Yeah, your story is more the cooling pattern that we're going to be receiving here in North Mississippi. And that's the case for everybody north of Highway 6, looking like everybody is actually going to be in the upper 80s, Tupelo and Amory in the low 90s, and then mid 90s for Greenwood and Belzona. I told you we could argue some heat advisories for folks out there in the Delta. Not opting for them. I will still stay prepared for some extreme heat out there in Greenwood, Belzona, and Greenville, and stay plenty hydrated and find ways to stay cool because we're still going to be talking about a pretty toasty forecast. Our Thursday night, see some of the heavier downpours stick around, something our meteorologist Caleb Edelblut will continue to monitor into those overnight hours, but not going to be the case for long. And into those overnight hours, we're just dealing with a sprinkle here, maybe some light showers possible by 3 a.m., but no severe weather threat. So folks, I know last night was a little bit of a longer night. I know you stayed up watching those storms. Tonight, don't stay up. Tomorrow night, do not stay up. Get your rest, especially in those final days of summer. We need to make sure we're oversleeping before we can't get that sleep during the year, right? So as we continue through our Friday morning, don't be awake at 6 a.m. if you don't have to be. But if you are, you're enjoying a cooler start to the day. 70 degrees Corinth, Iuka, and Red Bay, 74 Starkville and Amory, 75 Belzona and Cleveland, and 74 towards Clarksdale. As you tune in with our meteorologist Maggye McCauley at 6:30, see, I said don't wake up at 6, but by 6:30 you need to be awake bright and early so that way you can see what's happening with our meteorologist Maggye McCauley. Hey, by 8, you can go back to bed. But we will be seeing those rain chances stick around, so Maggie's going to be having to track out some of those rain chances. But the big thing I want to talk about for Friday, you see how we're getting some of those darker returns on our rain reflectivity? That's telling me that some of these storms will be on the stronger side. That doesn't necessarily mean severe weather, but what it could mean is a heavy rainfall, and with the stationary front, that causes concern for some pockets of flash flooding, and we'll get a better grasp on that here in the next 24 hours. But what I also expect with this are cyclical storms, and what those are storms that really strengthen for a brief moment of time and then just fall apart. And then they'll re-strengthen a little bit more later on and then fall apart. When they fall apart, when they collapse, that puts out a thing that we call downburst. And that's where those downbursts, those winds could be in excess of 40, 50 miles an hour at times. That's what I look at and see here. And that's what my concern is for our Friday, is the fact that we could be talking about a few downbursts, a few microbursts possible with these storms. So while they may not be severe for a long period of time, for a brief moment, you might be talking about some strong winds coming out of these storms as they have that cyclical nature to them, even into our Friday late afternoon, early evening plans. So make sure to have those alerts turned on for any lightning, any heavy rainfall. It'll be worth your while to know the positioning on these storms, and tune in to Mississippi Live Weather throughout your Friday as we keep you up to date on what's happening. But no severe weather risk. Don't think there will be one. I wouldn't be shocked if they did a level 1 just to be on the safe side due to that thunderstorm activity, but we'll have a better idea here in the next 24 hours with how that's trending. 90 degrees Senatobia and South Haven for our Friday. Still going to be upper 80s Oxford, Boonville, Iuka, low 90s Starkville and Columbus, and even mid 90s out there towards Greenville. Heat indices, as good as it gets for this time of year. You're not going to get much less than that here in North Mississippi in late July. But I want to talk about forecasted rainfall over the next 5 days. It's not putting out a ton of activity. I mean, quarter of an inch is not anything to write home about over a 5-day span. I think we're underdoing it. I do believe that we're talking 1 to 2 inches in spots over the next 3 days here in North Mississippi, and that's going to cause some concern for flash flooding because those 1 to 2 inches will come in a very short time if these heavy downpours occur like we expect them to right along that frontal boundary. So that's that next 3-day stretch, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's good we're getting rainfall. I don't want to overlook that because it's keeping temperatures at bay, 88, 90, 90. We can bear with that. Well, there's a whole other part to our 7-day. 94 Sunday, 96 Monday, 98 Tuesday, and folks, I'm underdoing temperatures early next week. I want to become a believer of that dry air. I want to see it repeatedly on models. And so far, over the last 48 hours, it has. If that carries over into the latter part of this week and into the weekend, I do believe there will be some triple digits on the table heading into Tuesday. That'll be the hottest temperatures of the year, and that'll be all the more reason to stay safe and stay prepared in the heat. I'm going to pull up chat real quick. Appreciate all of you guys for joining us there in the chat. Appreciate that. Brenda, howdy from Metallic County. Really means the world. Really means the world that you guys do that. I do see Greg, FEMA relief 6 months later. Well, FEMA's been relieving that areas impacted by the ice storm for months now. I think they're up to $75 million total. This was just a follow-up on that story, kind of talking about the additional totals that are being added to the $75 million here in Mississippi, specifically North Mississippi. So, yeah, so they're trying to do their part, but honestly, we all could use a little bit, right, to accommodate for that ice relief. So I get the frustration, and I know that folks up there want to get it fixed. Hey, I want it fixed. I was a part of it too. But that relief, it doesn't happen overnight, and all of us have to work together to continue to just recover from the ice storm. So that's what those big events do. We got to come together as a community and continue to weather the storm. But coming up in the next 60 seconds, as Greg was talking about, some of our Mississippi Live news stories, breaking down what's going on here in North Mississippi. We have a scam alert coming out of Marshall County, but we do have some new centers being added to some spots in Mississippi. You'll have to tune in to see where that's at. That as Mississippi Live News comes up in the next 60 seconds. And beyond that, we'll see you back here for more Mississippi Live weather at 10.
At Vibe Aesthetics and Wellness, we believe confidence isn't just how you look, it's how you feel. From subtle, natural aesthetics to personalized wellness care, everything we do is intentional. This is beauty with purpose. At Vibe Men's Health, we take that same approach. We focus on what matters most: strength, energy, and performance. Built on real data, real medicine, and real results, we're here to help you look better, feel stronger, and live fully. Come vibe with us today.
Welcome to the next generation of local news, Mississippi Live. Where you are, when you want it, we're focused on you because local matters. We are Mississippi Live.
Boys and Girls Club of North Mississippi presents Dance Like the Stars 2026, Saturday, August 8th at the Huntington Bank Arena. Floor seating is $50 and general admission seating is $20. All proceeds benefit the Boys and Girls Clubs of North Mississippi. For more information, visit bgcnms.org.
Good Wednesday evening, everybody. I'm Gabe Maynard here for Mississippi Live News. We start in Lee County, and Lee County is restarting the process to hire architects for its new Juvenile Education Center after a paperwork issue for supervisors back to square one. Kids in county custody are currently educated in a donated trailer, and Judge Stacy Bevel says this trailer has been outgrown. The new building would be built at the current site and would measure about 3,000 square feet, costing roughly $2 million. The building would also double as a courtroom, cutting down on transporting juveniles for hearings. The county has about half the money secured, including $1 million in federal HUD funding, and the county is still looking at local, state, and federal options to cover the rest. We do have a scam alert coming out of Marshall County. The Marshall County Sheriff's Office is warning residents about a new phone scam that's going around. Callers are claiming to be investigator weeks, telling people they missed jury duty or a court date, and that a warrant has been or will be issued for their arrest. The caller then demands they come to the Sheriff's Department to turn themselves in. The number may show up as a 252 area code or as blocked or unknown. The Sheriff's Office says this is a scam. No Sheriff's Department employee will ever call demanding money over a warrant or a missed court date. Now, we do have some good news coming out of Tupelo. Incoming kindergartners are getting a head start before the first day of school. It's called Splash into Kindergarten, a free 2-day program at Carver, Joyner, Parkway, and Thomas Street elementary schools. Here's a look at some of the pictures of the kids at the program. Thomas Street Principal Christy Carroll says it's, quote, a taste of kindergarten. Kids learn the basics, cafeteria and hallway procedures, meeting teachers, touring the school, and rotate through activities like cutting, gluing, and working with letters and numbers. Oh my word, it's so much fun. I wish I could go back. Carol says it also helps teachers spot a child's needs before school even starts. The goal, easing first day jitters for both kids and parents. The program is capped at 50 students per school, with registration opening each April. And we also end our broadcast tonight with a community spotlight. We continue to shine a light on those helping shape the next generation right here in North Mississippi. And today's community spotlight takes us to Boonville. And let me tell you this spotlight is quite unique. This is Janet Hurd, Joe Tanner, Chuck Kennedy, and Naya Agnew, or better known as the exceptional Boonville janitorial staff. One viewer said it perfectly. This crew is second to none. Every single day, they go above and beyond to make Boonville Middle School feel less like an institution and more like a home. Their hard work creates a clean, safe, and welcoming environment where the students can thrive and the teachers can shine. The staff also goes the extra mile, constantly looking for ways to improve the halls and classrooms before anyone even asks. The whole community at Boonville Middle School is immensely grateful for all that they do. Also a shout out to those not pictured, Bryson Stewart, Daniel Ade, and the summer workers. Thank you guys for all that you do, and here's to a successful school year in 2026 and 27. If you want to shout out an educator, teacher, principal, bus drivers, or even a janitorial staff, you can let us know on our Facebook page, as we will continue showing them off as we approach the upcoming school year. We thank you so much for joining us tonight for Mississippi Live News at 10. I'm Gabe Maynor. Keep it here for the very latest.
Hi, I'm Mississippi Live Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon. Reserve your St. Jude Dream Home giveaway ticket by July 31st, and you'll be eligible to win the house and the early bird prize, a $10,000 gift card to Brooks Grocery. Visit dreamhome.org to reserve your ticket for $100 and help St. Jude Children's Research Hospital continue its life-saving work. Then watch Mississippi Live on October 29th to see who wins the house and the other prizes. Reserve your ticket today.
Welcome to the next generation of local news, Mississippi Live. Where you are, when you want it, we're focused on you because local matters. We are Mississippi Live.
I'm your retirement fear, but don't be scared. You're still in pre-tirement.
Does that mean I have more time to plan?
Precisely. This is pretirement.org.
This isn't scary. I'm doing it.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Well, all eyes are on Biloxi as well as the entire Gulf Coast here in the south, because that's where Bertha is working its way on through. I should say Tropical Storm Bertha, give the full name. Nonetheless, you can see the waves continue to be on the higher side, the winds gusting. We have 17 miles an hour on that reporting station down there. Rainfall continuing to come down, but not a lot of folks there at the beach. Granted, it is 10 o'clock at night, but we'd still like to head out there here and there whenever we go down to the beach. But with a tropical storm, I get it. We don't want to be in the middle of that. And as we track out Bertha, we're going to continue to watch the tropics throughout the entirety of our Thursday and really into Friday if it holds together even that long. Our 10 o'clock advisory coming in with 45-mile-an-hour winds, pressure level at 1,002 millibars. That's 2 millibars higher than what it was at 6 o'clock when we tracked this out. So it goes to show you that this thing is weakening, went over land, so plenty of shear on land that's starting to break apart this storm. But as it works along the Gulf Coast, it maintains itself through the Louisiana coastline, 45 miles an hour towards Thursday morning, something our meteorologist Maggye will have more details on. But by Thursday evening, as we track this out together, you can see how that's going to be 40 miles an hour. And once it's fully inland, 30 miles an hour Friday morning. So that's the thing. If it holds together, we don't expect it to hold together heading into our weekend. Just going to provide a ton of rainfall for San Antonio, Victoria, Houston, Bryan, Waco, even up there towards Austin and Dallas, Texas. So that's an area of focus for some heavy rainfall. Already getting some of those stronger storms making their way through that region. But here in North Mississippi, you can see the track well off towards our south, and that frontal boundary is our friend that's providing us some cooler air tomorrow, but also providing us with that blockade, keeping Tropical Storm Bertha away from us. So 10 to 20% coverage will continue into our morning hours and even into the afternoon. We're getting a little bit higher, 30% chances there, still pretty spotty. So don't go telling your neighbors that, hey, rain's on the way. 30% is not for everybody. But where we do get the rainfall, heavy downpours are possible, lightning is possible. We're going to track that every bit with you heading into your afternoon forecast. So make sure to keep it here for the very latest, for all the latest information on news and weather and what's happening here in North Mississippi. As we wrap up the broadcast, make sure to download that Mississippi Live Weather app today, free and available on iOS and Android. And like, subscribe, and follow on all of our socials. Our next live broadcast is going to be 6:37 and 7:30 with our meteorologist Maggye McCauley. She'll be tracking out those rain chances, yes, even a few throughout that morning commute. But the bulk of the meaningful rainfall moving in by the afternoon. She'll have that full breakdown coming up bright and early on your Thursday morning. You guys have a terrific Thursday. We'll see you then.
We need to open up a business account for our new business. Some friends and business owners recommended First Choice. Ever since we opened up our account, we love First Choice. They treat you like family instead of a number.
Looking for a place to finally call home? At Tupelo Home Center, we make it easy. From finding the perfect home to making financing a breeze, we'll take care of everything. Your new home is closer than you think. Pre-qualify today at TupeloHomeCenter.com.
Believe as